Hello everyone, Mike here, coming to you with a tutorial for a new storage system using the new copper golem that's been added to Minecraft recently. It can house 6 golems, it is fast, tileable, and 100% reliable and unbreakable. I know that sounds like a weird statement to make because a lot of people have been stumped by it and think that it's buggier than it actually is, but it's not. I think I've cracked the code. Now, just to clarify, this video is just going to be a tutorial. If you guys want me to make a explanation video as to why I put this specific design together, how I put it together, all the copper golem science that went into designing, as you can see, I've done lots of tests with lots of different items, and I have come to a design that 100% works without breaking, and the golems do not skip chests like the community has been worried about. And just in general, I have cracked the code, so let's go ahead and build this thing. Before we do though, please consider subscribing and leaving a like because it really helps the channel a lot. Anyway, let's move on with the tutorial. Okay, so if this block is the ground level that you want to work with, place a slab right there, build this one up by 2, place a trapdoor at the very top of that second block right there. You're also going to want to place a temporary trapdoor right here, another one on top of that, and another one right here. Now you can remove this temporary one. This is where the chest is going to go, but do not place it yet, otherwise it might not work properly. I'll tell you why in a minute. Then you want a temporary block right there and right there. Remove that. Place a chain like so. You can get rid of that. Place another trapdoor on top like this. Open it up. Place a glass pane here. And place a temporary one here. And another one right there. Get rid of that temporary one right there. Now, the way you place the chest is on the inside of the system first, then on the outside. So like this, not like this. Okay? If you place it the way I just did, it will not work. Or at least some of these guys that you can see will not be able to reach them. Why? Because only the first chest placed counts in their view. I discovered this through hours of testing, and that is why a lot of people have been confused as to why some of these guys seem to be skipping some, and there are more reasons that I can go into, but anyway, you want to place the one that's inside the system first, like this. Now, one thing to remember is when you're doing this with the copper chest, you need to leave 2 blocks in between the nearest wooden chest, like so. I also prefer doing it with snow. This is 8 layers of snow, by the way. That way this copper golem doesn't sink down when he walks across like this. But nevertheless, you must make sure to leave a 2 block gap right here. That way the golems don't skip the first 2, because they tend to skip them because their animation tends to open up a chest like this and then pivot around to open whatever chest is in front of it right here. So that's why a lot of people seem to see them skipping the first few, and that's the solution, is to remove chests that are too close. And like I said, it's 8 layers of snow in between, like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now, after you've built your module, this is where you're going to place your golems. It's a bit hard to actually do in survival. It's hard enough to do in creative, and you'll see why in a second, but this is where they go. One of them goes right here, right here. Got one right here, right here, on top right here. And this one here is the toughest. You're actually going to have to remove one of these chains, place him here, and kind of nudge him underneath, and then there you go. all 6 of them. Now next is the Overflow. I'm going to explain to you why it needs a hopper minecart and not just a hopper. Because let's say you're working with lots of different kinds of items and you get a stack of one item and a stack of another item, right? Most of the golems will grab between them. 4 golems will grab the whole stack, 16 items between them, and they're going to be placing them in the overflow chest. And it's going to take some time for that chest to be emptied by a regular hopper. And so when another golem comes in with a different type and opens up the overflow chest, it might not still be emptied, and so it will not consider it an overflow chest. It will not see it as an empty chest, and it will not deposit the overflow item. So if you have a hopper minecart underneath, that will almost take care of that problem. It still might happen on occasion, but it's very rare because the chest is usually going to be empty in no time, and that really minimizes the chances of something like that happening. But you do want it to be offset just slightly. Otherwise, this guy here is going to bump into it, and it's going to cause a lot of mess. As you can see, I've placed a wall here so that you don't bump into it as well. You can also just leave it like that. That's why I put these shelves here on the bottom to accommodate this block, but if you really want to just take your chances and leave it exposed like this, you can. So that way it's much nicer like this. But let me show you how to do this. You're going to want to remove these 2 blocks, but first place a barrel right here. Place a hopper leading into it. Place a rail on top. Place a wall or a glass pane on top of that barrel. Hopper minecart right there. Nudge it all the way. Remove that. And there you go. Now, a few pieces of advice on after you've built this on how to get the most out of this. First of all, do not build this too big. The smaller the module, the faster it'll be. The maximum you can have is 9 storage chests plus 1 overflow chest, but I do not recommend having any more than 5, as you can see right here, because the same amount of golems are going to have to be traveling extra to get to those final chests. Another tip is to combine items into chests, which is something that regular item filters can't actually do, or at least not in the same way. Right here I've put the frequent items all the way in the front, which is another trick, because raw mutton is something I'm going to be getting a lot from a passive mob farm, which is what this is right here. And if I were to place it all the way at the very end, that means that frequently these guys would have to walk almost twice the length to place it in. But if I have it really close here, then they'll only have to be doing short trips every time, which will make the whole thing faster. And as you can see here, some of the less frequent items are all the way in the back. Pink wool, which is the rarest, is going to be in the very final chest. And then as you can see right here, by the way, I love the new shelves because you don't have to place multiple item frames to display what's in the chest. You can combine them like this, and it's pretty clear what's in these chests. So the shelves are really nice. Yeah, as you can see right here, I've combined items because there's no need of having one chest just for gray wool, for example. And these guys aren't going to have to travel higher distances just because you've separated all your items, right? If you've combined them into single chests, they'll have to visit fewer chests, which will make everything faster. As you can see, there's some redstone right here. The only reason I've done it like this, instead of just going full redstone list, is because I want to make the modules smaller and tileable. I didn't want this to lead to something going downwards. This is basically just an item elevator. So it sends it through to a next module. So this is an overflow. So this one is always empty, and it goes into this item elevator, which gets put out here. So I could just have a full 9 chests and then combine everything into the 9 chests, but it'll be much faster if you separate it like this. So 5 storage chests is the maximum I would recommend. Also remember to leave a 15 block gap in between modules, or specifically the copper chests themselves, and that is not including the chest. So starting right here, it would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and then on the 16th you can place your new copper chest and the new module. Now you are going to want to wax them if you don't want them to fully oxidize and freeze, because they will stop working. So make sure you go ahead and wax them all. So anyway, that's it. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave a like and don't forget to hit that bell.